Streatham Space Project, please welcome to the stage, Kill James Bond.
Hello, Streatham.
Hey. Oh, behave, baby.
Welcome to another Kill James Bond live show, number 3 of 3. We're almost done.
They made another one of these movies.
That's right. If you missed the first 2 nights, we are watching the Austin Powers series. And Austin Powers is a sort of parody Bond done by Canadian Mike Myers. And they're terrible. They're absolutely dog shit. The first night, our problem was it was sort of a decent comedy and we had to fill time for an hour and a half. Again, neither of these 2 nights is that going to be a problem. It's a very bad movie.
Are there any recurring jokes that we need to clue? By way of applause, who was not here before? Who's new? Okay, so some recurring jokes that we need to clue you in on. Firstly, Mike Myers is Canadian. I was very disturbed to learn this. Mm-hmm. Secondly, the Voyager space probe is transphobic.
That's true.
Thirdly, the final episode of Seinfeld ends when Seinfeld is killed in 9/11.
That's right. And Carrie Fisher, at the end of every event, comes out and is like, that's enough of that.
Yeah. That's how all of these movies end.
It'll make...
That's right.
There are some fembots.
Yeah.
Fembots.
Sorry, do you want to...
Yeah, I didn't realize you were doing audience participation on this one, but that's fine. We can change tack.
And also the fembots.
Great, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Do you want to just
Don't.
Hence. I don't have machine guns in my tits. That was too expensive. I didn't get that one.
Yeah, it's the premium shit.
Yeah.
It's the kind of shit you want to get if you go to Thailand.
Sorry for coming down and startling you, by the way, but this is now a show with audience participation.
That's right.
Given
We've decided, night 3.
given the amount of Vivishine on this, the first 3 rows will get wet.
Maybe the rows behind them as well, you know?
But
Thank you very much.
Speaking of 9/11.
yes.
Right.
It happened before this movie came out.
This film came out in 2002, which I think prompts the urgent question, where was Austin Powers on 9/11?
Oh, in the Pentagon Command Center, going, doesn't that look like a pair of tits?
He's unaccounted for 2 minutes, actually, if you look at the official timeline of where he was.
Yeah, but in many ways, that's true. This is not equipped to be a post 9/11 franchise. It's you can't have Austin Powers in a world that has the global war on terrorism. You know, because imagine deploying him to Afghanistan. Or Iraq. No, absolutely
Terrorism's just not groovy, baby.
not. Deployed in Kabul, minute 1.
Do I make you horny, baby?
Osama bin a naughty boy. Oh.
You know, the most frightening thing about this is I can hear you dialing in your Austin Powers, and it's getting better every live show.
Thank God they didn't make a film.
When they
Genuinely
reboot the
concerning.
franchise, I'm gonna have to be sorry guys. We'll all have to be Austin Powers is a great series. We all really enjoyed that.
Well, they keep threatening to do another one, much like Al Qaeda, and
They just don't have it in them. They don't have the sauce anymore.
much like Al Qaeda.
Much like Al Qaeda.
After a years-long process to destabilize and assassinate the leaders of the Austin Powers franchise, starting with Vern Troyer, that's oh fuck off.
It's a shame. It's a shame,
Fuck
but
off.
that is how they got him.
But so we start with a topical Mission Impossible bit. And we did these series in the wrong order because we haven't done Mission Impossible yet. But Mission Impossible 2 came out right when this did. And so they do a long Mission Impossible opening. And my sole note for this is, too much money. And this is it's a real thing with comedies. They become victims of their own successes. You know, you make too much money, you're not funny anymore. This is never going to happen to us.
No.
You start doing ridiculously like indulgent shit, like wearing mesh bodysuits to a live shit. This works really well when I'm stood up, but sitting down, I'm going like the entire fucking time.
I mean, I feel bad about my outfit, right? Because we've got like thembot, fembot, your actual mum. I mean, the sole benefit of this dress is that it does make it harder for enemy submarines to detect my heading or speed. But so all of this...
You're the only one like on topic for like 70s patterns.
Yeah.
Everyone's just like, I don't
read the
know.
assignment.
I wrote the assignment, and then you were like, no, I'm going to wear the catsuit.
Yeah.
And honestly, I respect that very much. But so they do a long Mission Impossible sequence, which has actual stunts in it. And they spent money on this. Too much money, I would say. And the big reveal... Do you want to...
Fuck, that's it. We're done.
Oh, shit. Okay. I'll pad for a bit. All right, so the Voyager
Dev's
space
just
probe...
left. Did we just... Oh, here they come.
That'll come out in the edit real smooth, I think. I forgot to put my phone on charger.
For fuck's sake.
It was in my pocket. I actually feel bad. I was got like a big... If anyone wants to take another photo... No.
But so the big reveal of all of this is that it's actually a movie they're making of Austin Powers that exists within the Austin Powers universe. And Austin Powers is played by Tom Cruise. But Tom Cruise sounds like this.
Yeah, baby.
It's fun. So that we have what we think is Austin Powers parachuting out of a plane and like into a Jaguar and like speeding.
No, sorry. That's not fine. He sounds like he's on Quaaludes.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, baby.
Whatever else you can say about Tom Cruise, he's a producer who's currently working. So I really enjoy his work in this and everything else. So he parachutes into a speeding car and then like rescues Gwyneth Paltrow.
Gwyneth Paltrow, who appears with a name that if anyone is like working on OnlyFans and you're trans and you want a rebrand for free.
Hi, I'm Dixie Normus.
And when they did that line, I just fell back in my chair like you can't do that. They hadn't invented why that joke was funny yet. Like, it's the
That
same.
was the inspiration, actually.
Yeah. The invention of transgender was in that moment when Gwyneth Paltrow was like, yeah, my cock's enormous. It's the same shit as Plenty O'Toole in Diamonds Are Forever, where it's like, no, you're not equipped to find that funny yet.
Yeah, they weren't. That's why they were like, I bet your dad has a big dick. They didn't have the punchline ready.
No, they hadn't invented being trans yet, and it really hurts this joke.
Do you know who else is in this fake Austin Powers trailer, though?
A guy who is not currently working.
A man who is not currently working, and therefore it is open season, because as appearing as Dr. Evil in this like fake Austin Powers movie is Kevin Spacey.
Yeah, and the joke here is...
Not a name we should be cheering! In case some of you have been not reading the news for the last several years.
And the joke here fully is Kevin Spacey could never be an evil man. And bear in mind, in the previous movie, one of the jokes was a fashion photographer could never be an evil man. So if they do make a fourth one, it's going to have a predictive power to it, and I'm quite frightened as to what they're going to find out by virtue of doing that.
Danny DeVito is also here?
Yeah, Danny DeVito here needing money.
Okay, so no cheer for that. All right, interesting.
It's insulting.
I hate this audience, actually. Night 2 is the best one. All right.
We're turning them against each other, you know?
Divide and conquer.
That's
Easy.
right, that's right.
And Steven Spielberg as himself.
That's true. The other thing...
Yeah, Steven Spielberg.
So the other thing
I'm
about...
confused.
The other thing about Danny DeVito, right, is that he's playing Mini-Me. And it's pretty insulting that the in-universe parody of a character gets more lines than the actual character. Like, actual Mini-Me, Vern Troyer, doesn't get any lines. Danny DeVito gets one and is therefore, like, infinity times more powerful in these movies. That's how it works.
Troy goes, eee. 50 or 60 times.
That's true. That's true. He does make noises, but I'm not sure those count as scripted
If they're
lines.
in the script, it'd be like
Yeah.
mini-me.
Yeah, mini-me. It's just for the Night 2 heads.
So we
Night
pull
2
out and we...
Who here based in Night 2 pill, for real? Nice.
I forgot to even introduce us. That's how
I'm pretty
fucked
sure
I
at
am.
this point you can see my nipples. They know who I fucking am.
Yeah, we're on first name basis at that point. Yes. Devon, Alice, Abby. Nice to meet you.
If anyone here has wandered in from the street and didn't have a ticket.
Hold on a moment. Wait a tick.
So we zoom out and we realize this is a trailer being shot for the Austin Powers movie being directed by Steven Spielberg.
Yeah.
And then we go into, and the real
and-
Austin Powers is watching
Well,
this.
they really suck off Steven Spielberg too, and I know he's a director who's still working, right? But like, this movie has a real sort of like starfucker aspect to it, and I can explain this by the fact that when they introduce Steven Spielberg, Austin Powers looks straight down the camera and says,
So Steven Spielberg, the grooviest filmmaker in the history of cinema.
"Great, thanks."
Is he
It's
a
like-
sir? Is he a knight?
I don't know, but like, one thing I do know is he's not the grooviest filmmaker in the history of cinema. But
Who is?
That title, of course, goes to Denis Villeneuve.
that's right.
That's true.
Chose that at random, so glad that you... Literally, first
a
name
strong-
I thought of, got some Villeneuve heads in.
I mean, you could convince me on it pretty
Villeneuve
easily.
pill, yeah. The Villeneuve pill, very like geometrically shaped, you know? Looks a lot like concrete.
Really difficult.
Yeah.
Really difficult to
So-
swallow.
At this point, this sets us up into the third dance opening.
Mm-hmm.
This time they have more money, and so the dances are better. Like, there's more budget going into it, but like, and it's meant to be more extravagant and stuff. But it can't stop doing the thing where it's like Mike Myers has been too successful and made too many friends in Hollywood, and now all he can talk about is how cool his friends are. So it will just stop the movie to be like, hey, check this out, Quincy Jones.
I was just texting Finster about this same thing.
Like I say, this will never happen to us. Check out Quincy
I
Jones.
wasn't.
Check out, God, who's the other one? Britney Spears.
Britney Spears, she's in this.
Yeah.
Britney is in this movie.
She's a fembot.
That's true. They do like a fembot callback, and Austin Powers kills Britney, which, yeah, I don't feel great about, to be honest.
She's in the credits, though. She comes back.
And I
I
will
stopped watching
say,
once again as soon as the first one. I was like,
yeah, as soon as Carrie Fisher like granted you license to leave, you're just gone, you know. But no, this stinks of desperation, and the movie too. And like again, the other thing, Mike Myers looks older, like a lot older, but he's not leaning into it, despite the fact that the best joke in the first movie was.
There's nothing more pathetic than an aging hipster.
But instead, like the teeth get better, the hair gets better, and he looks like an older dude who is like not accepting of it, and like even the fake teeth aren't as bad.
He's also just in his affect about like only 2/3 as comedic as he was previously. I don't know if something happened to
Yeah.
him. Maybe it was 9/11. But like,
it might have been.
he's just a bit more kind of serious in this film in a way that doesn't quite work.
I think it's because the previous ones had like broadly good reviews and it went to his head. Or at least the second one made a lot of money like the first one did. And the first one had good reviews. And he was like, no, maybe I'm a serious filmmaker here. And maybe maybe I'm Denis Villeneuve.
he's
You know?
like, maybe I can have like a heartwarming lesson to this one.
Yeah, maybe. And like, if it had if it had like 5% more bite to it, you'd be like, okay, but it doesn't. Instead, all of the jokes are like, oh, Tom Cruise, he makes pretty epic movies. And like, okay, sure, that's the only joke you can make about Tom Cruise if you want him to be in your movie. Because he's
And
a
I do.
very thin-skinned man, folks.
Who among us would toothlessly parody Tom Cruise because we are worried about annoying him?
Yeah, when are we going to do the Mission Impossible franchise?
Don't put it on.
When are they casting the next one?
But so now we have to go to Dr. Evil's evil headquarters, which is behind the Hollywood sign, because we've set our theme for this, which is Mike Myers is big in Hollywood now.
So okay, I read a number of notes, all of which were just during the opening titles. The first one was in order: hate to see, hate to see, hate to see, love to see.
Those are anonymized for the protection of Abby's career. You know?
The second Soul Bossa Nova started hitting, I wrote this again. It's already so self-indulgent, and I thought, no, it's just I'm gonna kill myself. and then he walks out. The Britney Spears thing is fascinating because she's doing like one of her Britney Spears ass music videos, yeah. And he comes in with all of his 60s guys and then like causes her head to explode by being too epic. And I was like, this is a meta commentary that I think is wrong.
It's actually cooler than Britney.
And then he goes, he goes, I did it again, baby. Regarding like making a fembot's head explode with his mojo. And I just wrote, that's the thesis statement of the fucking movie, isn't it? Just like, did it again.
It's a really dated joke too, because that was like, God, like 5-10 years old at that point. And oops, I did it again. Because this is like mid to late career Britney as a, scholar in advanced Britney studies.
Of course. A Britneyologist, which is a new Patreon series.
Patent pending. It's a really good idea. No, I mean, Britney looks miserable in this movie, as did I watching it.
They've kind of forgotten the central joke, though, which is that Austin Powers isn't cool or sexy outside of Britain.
Yes.
Exactly.
It's funny in the first one when, like, this is the sexiest man in Britain and he looks like this. But if he's in Hollywood, people should just be like, who the fuck is this nonce? Like,
yeah, right? It's complete bit collapse. Like, the whole point of the fucking movies was that this guy sucks. But by the third one, they were like, fuck, maybe Austin rocks.
Yeah,
and it's
maybe he's cool.
It's not funny if he's cool.
It's hubris, is what it is. It's a hubristic movie. So we got to go to Dr. Evil, who again is a character that the movie finds funnier than Austin Powers, also played by Mike Myers, 5% gayer Blofeld. And
even he's kind of half-assing it, though. He doesn't have the shit on his face anymore. He just looks like a normal dude in a bald cap. Mm-hmm. He didn't want to spend as long in the makeup chair, I assume.
It's like, it's so phoned in. Like, the effort is so much lower. But also, the establishing shot here is him wearing, I think 3-foot-tall Vern Troyer mini-me in a baby carrier. And, okay, which of you laughed? Can we get a spotlight? Because, like, I know what they wanted here structurally. It was like a quick visual gag, right? What it is, it's like literally infantilizing, right? And it's not to be like, this is part of a pattern about the movie with the guy with the bad teeth, but like, it legitimately is because he never gets to do anything else. And it's so insulting. And we meet up with Dr. Evil's team of hench people once again. We got number 2, who's Robert Wagner with the eye patch. We got Frau Farbissner, who's like evil and German and lesbian, if they remembered to do that this movie.
Don't think they did. I think they forgot. In fact, I think Dr. Evil is slightly homophobic at one point in this, so he's actually gone backwards.
Oh, yeah, he literally, he says.
I don't think that's something one dude should say to another dude.
Which is, same character in a previous movie was, like, less homophobic than that. But, like a British newspaper, he just got more transphobic after the 2000s. But, yeah, I mean, I guess the other thing is, number 2's evil plan, or, like, front operation, is to run like a Hollywood talent agency and then name drop a bunch. And I heard a joke once that the more successful a stand-up comedian is, you can tell because more of their jokes are about, hotels and airports. With a movie series, more of it becomes about Hollywood. And, you start getting these things that are described as like love letters to Hollywood. And it's like, it's really grim. I don't know what happens to podcasters. I hope something good.
Keep starting more.
Who is the most successful podcast in the world? Who is that?
Oh, Joe Rogan, yeah.
Yeah, Joe Rogan.
Literally, it is Joe Rogan.
Career.
Can you pull that up on screen, Jamie?
Which, to be fair, Spotify, if you want to give us 10 million per episode, what am I going to say? No?
But so, we also introduced number 2's assistant, number 3. And number 3 has a large mole on his face.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's like minute 5 and we're to the bottom of the
Five through 95
had a mole. I don't know.
Some of you have remembered your school bullies, I hear. Because the second he shows up with this mole on his face, it's Fred Savage, by the way, from the Wonder Years and from the list of allegations section of his Wikipedia page.
Ooh.
Yeah, not currently working. But so as soon as he shows up, Dr. Evil goes, "Whoa!" with a zoom effect as they zoom in on this giant mole, right? And like, everyone in this room has a facial deformity.
like Dr. Evil's got a big fucking scar down. Number 2's missing an eye and he's got a big burn patch. But like the mole is just like,
that's the one thing.
40 to 50 minutes out of it.
They should have like made more out of the fact that like literally everyone in that scene has some kind of like facial fuck upness. Like,
it should have been like Dr. Evil just spotting all of them again anew and just be like, whoa!
Just like
looking at everyone in order and be like, whoa!
in a mirror.
See,
we're just funnier movie.
We're just writing a better movie for them. We keep doing this, and we've got to stop doing it. But yeah, so this is his assistant, and we do a long bit about how you're not supposed to identify that someone has a mole on their face. And the comedy in this, we will be repeating this bit 5 or 6 times, is Guy trying not to say the thing he's not allowed to say, right? But like a legitimate cultural shift happened where it like something changed in the culture, and it changed from seeing a guy with a giant mole on his face going from like, oh, you're not supposed to point and stare, to be like, no, that's a legitimately terrible thing to do. Like, and it dates it so badly.
In the original draft of the script,
Oh, Christ.
what was the mole? Because I'm guessing it just has the hallmark of something that's been like
Oh, it was his
toned
dick
down.
originally.
It was his dick originally. Okay, yeah.
No,
I don't know.
it took a minute there. No.
I'd probably be quite surprised if someone had a huge dick on their face. To be fair.
But yeah.
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
Okay. Cool.
Not necessarily displeased. Just. Just wouldn't expect it, you know?
But we announced the evil plan here, which is
Dr. Evil has a time machine, by the way, from the last film, if you need catching up.
yes. And there's this guy
Don't worry about it.
called Goldmember, who, you remember how Goldfinger was like European and all Europeans are perverts?
Mm-hmm.
A fourth Mike Myers has struck the movie.
They are reproducing themselves exponentially at this point.
Later on, we get scenes where Goldmember, Dr. Evil, and Austin are all talking to each other, and it's like, my God.
Lots of shots of like the back of doubles' heads. But so Goldmember has, first of all, he has lost his penis in an unfortunate smelting accident.
I think the implication is he loved gold so much he tried to have sex with gold.
Yes,
I think that's
yeah.
it, yeah.
And he has a tractor beam, and they're going to make like a golden asteroid hit the Earth and flood the polar ice caps. Which,
And Goldmember lives in the 70s.
yes.
Don't worry about it. This is not important, but...
No. Again, because this is the other thing. It's like not a movie, structurally. It's a series of sketches, and the sketches aren't very good. It's like overgrown Saturday Night Live. We do like another bit about Dr. Evil cutting off his dirtbag teenage son Scott every time he tries to speak, and then much like the movie, Scott says,
You know, this is causing me serious psychological harm.
Also, the evil plot is called Preparation H, which is the name of a hemorrhoid cream.
It was a real just like,
It's like, oh, that's what that was.
Yeah,
That's what that was. Yeah, I'll just come down and I'll explain this movie with like no jokes to you.
So the plan is Dr. Evil's going to travel to 1975, get Goldmember, get the tractor beam, cause the asteroid to crash, whatever. And then we do get something which I was quite surprised by, which is that Austin Powers appears, defeats Dr. Evil, and arrests him straight away. Just straight away, just like turns up, pulls a gun on him, and is like, "Freeze! You're under arrest." And it's like, "Oh, fuck! All right."
It's a nice little inversion of the thing. But then, right, they get like convicted in the UN or some shit like that. Mini-Me moons the court, and then Austin gets knighted by the Queen.
a match.
Madge herself.
Rip.
She's up there with Vern Troyer now.
He's also been knighted. You can't stop her knighting people up there. Bam, 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 all the time.
It's like Mormonism, you know, everyone who has died has been retroactively knighted by the Queen in heaven. And, you know, some of them don't feel great about it. But so Austin gets knighted and he's like, I owe it all to my dad. At which point he goes,
First mention of this man
yes.
in the entire franchise.
My dad, Nigel, my dad Powers, stand up and take a bow. And then we cut to his seat, which has a big reserved sign on it. He's just not fucking there. He's a deadbeat dad. He's not showing up. And don't awe that. Don't awe that, because the movie wants you to think that it has a real emotional core, and it doesn't.
But then everyone there, including the royal family, laughs at Austin.
Yeah, that's
His
funny.
father isn't there. Everyone points at Austin, and it's like, what the fuck? I was thinking, like, Britain isn't that cruel. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Bitch made.
Yeah. So one thing that the movies previous to this did was they cut between scenes with a little like interstitial of like Mike Myers' 60s comedy band called Ming-T. It's atrocious, but it was just like, a little 5-10 seconds of like Austin Powers' face right next to the camera.
Yeah, really close.
Yeah, like way up there. But this time, again, people stopped being able to say no to Mike Myers. And so we get a whole song from his band about Austin Powers' dad. And it fucking sucks. It sucks so bad.
Hey, for those of you groaning, don't worry. That's song number 1.
Yeah. For those of you in the audience going, I feel you. I really do.
It's tough out there.
So, then we get to this bit.
Okay.
Right, do you want to just take this one the next 20 minutes?
Don't worry about it.
So Austin's in his he's in his apartment. He's like, they do some product placement for Heineken.
I was wondering what kind of beer he was drinking.
There is
Good to know.
an alarming
product
amount
placement.
of product placement in this movie.
Co-op water, everybody.
I'm getting no money from Thatcher's.
Yeah. And at this point, we loom towards 2 drops that I have labeled as racist1 and racist2.wav.
Is that a logarithmic scale? Or?
Yeah, they
Yes.
are.
Oh, good for the logarithmic scale heads.
If you're logarithm pilled.
There's more of you than I thought.
Yeah.
More of you than there were originally, somehow. Don't let them know I don't know what a logarithmic scale is.
So like doubles
Fine,
every
I
time.
actually
Having a
wrote
fucking
that
clue.
joke. I ghostwrote that joke.
I haven't studied maths in over 10 years.
But so this is 2002. This movie came out, and Austin Powers meets an Asian woman. An Asian woman who introduces herself thusly.
Can I have autograph? Of course. Your name is?
Fuck me.
Yeah. And she's wearing a Japanese sort of like quasi schoolgirl outfit, which first of all, nonce. I think we can feel clear about this. Austin Powers, not a dude who came out of the sort of like historical allegations thing well at all.
And they're really historical because he was frozen for 30 years.
Yeah. He did some fuck shit in the 50s. Like, just now coming to life.
But yeah, so this is an actress who is not Japanese, playing a Japanese woman named Fuck Me, which is not a Japanese
Not a
name.
Japanese name, you can't make that.
And then, a second later, we introduce her twin sister.
This is my twin sister. Her name, fuck you.
It's reprehensible. It's shit that like pub landlords who are currently like getting investigated for like having racist dolls in their pub would post on Facebook. It's like, who remembers when you could make a joke like this in the 70s?
Also, these 2 actors are not twins. They're not related.
No.
They're
They
2
don't
just
even
like
really
separate. I
look
think one of them's
alike.
like Japanese American.
Yeah.
Yeah. These aren't their natural accents either. I looked up clips. They were made to do this.
Yeah. And they really hammer this
So bad, dude.
this punchline home.
I have been accused on multiple occasions on this podcast before of having I can excuse racism, but a badly written joke. but she goes, she goes, fuck me. And he goes, oh, naughty. And then she goes, fuck me. And he's like, oh. And then she goes, no, my name's fuck me. And he's like, oh, I thought you said fuck me. And she goes, no, my name is actually fuck me. And then she goes and gets her sister who says fuck you. And he goes, whoa. And then this woman goes, no, her name is actually fuck you. And mine is fuck me. So what we get there is the joke. Austin explains the joke. They do the joke again. She explains the joke. Then they do the joke again. And at a certain point, you've got to be like, yes, okay. I get it, man. I get
Also, like, the later these movies get in time, the worse it gets, because I feel like, okay, 1997, whatever, it was a different time, right? after Jerry Seinfeld did 9/11 and we all...
Whoa, that's a total change to the mythology.
Sorry. After 9/11...
Do 9/11. He was
Citation
killed in
needed on
9/11.
this one. I know.
After Jerry
Take down
Seinfeld...
the great Satan.
Jerry Seinfeld being
I crashed
like...
that plane, Jerry.
Jerry Seinfeld doing the Mark
Coming out of the
Wahlberg thing.
cockpit. What's going on?
Yeah. Jerry Seinfeld doing the Mark Wahlberg thing of if I'd have been on those planes, it wouldn't have gone down like that because they would have hit the Capitol. But
What's the deal with airline?
You crashed the plane. We crashed the plane, Jerry.
Kramer, what's going on in there?
Coming out of the pilot cabin.
God, if 9/11 stops being funny, this podcast is fucked.
Yeah.
We're going to do a live show in America and die.
It's going to be like Austin Powers. In 10 years' time, it is, oh, that's one.
In many ways,
yeah.
9/11 stopping being funny would be this podcast's 9/11. Okay, so the movie.
Right, so after Jerry Seinfeld did 9/11 and we all like became adults, right? And we some of us realized...
And then I was born.
Yeah.
Yes.
Some of us realized that maybe this 60s shit was pretty dodgy, right? And like, okay, maybe like you didn't know that in the 90s. By 2001, 2002, you couldn't make these kinds of jokes without knowing about that shit. Like Louis Theroux was going to Jimmy Savile's house to be like, nonce much? Like, I don't know. But so, mercifully, this scene is interrupted by Basil exposition.
Because Austin is about to have this, like, he's about to have sex with these two Japanese
Yeah, which is literally
twins.
an item on his to-do list is have sex with Japanese twins, which, ugh.
And you can't make those names using Japanese. Korean
You
or
can't
Cantonese
even, no,
maybe, but
no.
whatever.
Even so.
She also says that she's very sexiful, quote
She
unquote,
does.
which is a direct quote from You
You
Only
only
Live
pussy
Once.
on the moon.
No, You Only Live
Finger,
Twice,
I
because
love-
that's Mike Myers' favorite fucking Bond film.
Yeah,
he
yeah.
won't stop fucking referencing.
What? How would that be your favorite, too? Like,
It's
It was also our favorite for different reasons.
it was
yeah, it gave us Kill Bond. Now.
It's the most outrageous, at least.
That's
It
true.
also gave us, much later, it gave us Muppet James Bond.
that's right.
Which is one of my favorite bits. That's for the premium heads.
If you did a Muppet Austin Powers, this would be a lot more defensible, I think. But in any case, Basil Exposition, his boss, shows up and is like, yeah, your dad's been kidnapped. That's not why he wasn't there, by the way. He just doesn't love you. I've
No,
told that
that is-
joke funnier than the movie
I
does.
like that they made it clear. I was like, no.
Yeah. And yeah, Goldmember has kidnapped your dad. Here are some dudes whose dicks he has painted gold because that's what happens in Goldfinger, kind of.
And your dad is being held in 1970.
Yeah, 1970 something.
But the only way to find out what Goldmember will do, because he's a mad genius, is to go and ask Dr. Evil in
Yeah.
prison so that we can do an extended Silence of the Lambs bit.
Yeah, see, this is the thing, right? Like, doing the Hannibal evil genius thing of like, oh, he's in the fucking special cell because he's so smart and you've got to go and like talk to him, right? Like, this is hack shit. It's the sign of a franchise that's running out of ideas. And then the Bond franchise
They
did
just
this.
actually did it.
They
in
just did this unironically in No Time to Die, yeah.
I think the best example of this we've seen on the podcast was still Cats and Dogs 2.
It was. Unironically, yeah.
Also a movie about 9/11. But so they go to meet Dr. Evil, who is in the Magneto cell from X-Men. And he's like, yeah, if you get me a transfer to a regular prison, then I will tell you where your dad is. And he's in 1970, whatever. And this one's kind of funny. Like, that's the best compliment I can give to this movie is, yeah, it's all right. It's okay. It's fine. But now, Austin... Oh, actually, no. There's a flashback here. There's a fucking flashback here. Another sign of a movie that has run out of ideas.
Well, I think so. So we flash back to Austin and Dr. Evil as children at British Spy Intelligence Academy,
Yeah.
whatever it's called. And This is actually quite
Eaten,
clever because
usually.
I think the film has quite correctly picked up on the fact that they have a lot of like children fans.
Sure.
So we get to see these two younger actors do very good impersonations,
Remarkably
of
solid, yeah.
Austin Powers and Dr. Evil. So we see like them as young Link. But the thing is, they haven't like changed or they're still who we know them to be.
Yeah.
So Austin is like 17, is still shagging. Dr. Evil is still
he's getting
a nerd.
fucking macroned by his French teacher. Like, he's getting groomed. And
Macron
honestly,
heads in the house. Nice.
like maybe the First Lady of France used to be his teacher. You can Google it.
Genuinely,
yeah. But look, maybe him getting fucking groomed in school goes some way to explain his like insane lack of sexual boundaries. Do we think maybe that like
Do I make you horny, baby?
is something that someone says when they're psychologically healthy? But no, the movie doesn't.
Do I make you horny, baby?
Yeah, do I make you horny? Yeah.
Don't speak good enough French for that, my friend.
Do I make you on it,
But I do kiss that way.
So we also find out why Dr. Evil turns evil, which is Austin like steals the International Man of Mystery award, which takes the form of giving him his pendant thing, the little like male symbol pendant he wears around his neck all 3 movies. 2 things. Sorry, please go ahead.
No.
I have
You
2
go
more
right
things.
ahead. Mine
Okay.
was just going to be like a vague noise.
2 things. Thing 1, Austin is now wearing a trophy he got in school as an adult man. Thing 2, this involves a shot of a British schoolteacher putting a male symbol necklace around a child's neck.
Most normal thing to have happened in a British private school.
Nowadays.
Yeah. Yeah, shortly this will become mandatory for every child.
With a big pointy hat. No, we won't go there.
This scene doesn't really like contribute anything to the movie. It's just there, and then we have to go back.
So Austin is past Austin as a child is like, oh, I owed all to my dad. Everyone give a clap for him, and he's also not there yet because we're drawing out the reveal of which actor plays his
And then
father.
everyone goes, ah, ha, 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 pointing at him. And there's the same old man laughing, which I do think is funny.
This is the thing. All of the like better jokes in this are just like kind of lifts from Top Secret or Airplane, that kind of like Zucker Abrams Zucker sort of métier, right? And they do sort of passable impressions of that. When it's that or physical comedy, it's funny. Everything else, dog shit. And the effort gets so much lower each time. And now we're here at rock bottom. So Austin in the present has to go to 1979. And last time there was a time machine in a car, a VW Beetle, which I sort of went off about. Now it's a pimpmobile.
Smashing, Basil. A pimpmobile.
Now, I don't know if any of you remember the movie Live and Let Die. The most racist Bond movie. But that features Felix Leiter using the word pimpmobile as a slur? Like, to indicate that Felix was racist?
He was white at this point.
Yeah.
This was before he lost his legs and became black.
Yeah.
If you remember.
And then gay, and then
yeah.
white, and then black. Yeah.
But after he was gay the first time.
Yeah.
And then,
Was that the one where he was talking about soup? No, that was a different one.
no, that was...
Felix has had some lives, huh?
Felix is like the Doctor. He just kind of comes like...
But so...
I still think the funniest bit, this is often the funniest bit of No Time to Die, was when Felix is dying and Daniel Craig goes, we've got through harder things than this. And it just went, yeah, remember that time you lost your legs to a shark? I wanted to fucking say it. In my head, he said that the same way Ray Fiennes said cunt to Andy Scarlett.
But so...
Remember Bond?
Yeah. Remember James Bond? So Austin activates the time machine, and the pimpmobile starts like rocking on hydraulics, like a lowrider, which is a different thing. From a different part of the... It's a completely different... This is about the level of cultural sensitivity we're going to be pitched at here.
Well, this is kind of what a white British spy person would build given this brief.
Sure, that's true, but I don't want to give this movie credit.
No, I don't think that's deliberate at all.
For anything. And so he goes back to New York City, 1970-something, in the pimp outfit from the movie The Mac. And
I looked into getting that coat for this live show.
Yeah, to be fair, it would have gone off.
Yeah, I had a brief think about it. But
actually what a British podcaster's idea of being like culturally sensitive is.
I looked into it and was like, probably not.
Yeah, better not. At which point, he goes into the club, and Beyonce is on stage performing.
The Beyonce.
Beyonce.
Yeah, like
I
actual
reacted like
Beyonce.
that fucking reaction gif was just like, Beyonce? I was like, what?
Beyonce hits this movie like Seinfeld hit those towers. Like, I was impacted so hard I changed gender.
The thing
joke
about
for the
Beyonce,
night one heads. Nice to give you something.
the thing about Beyonce is she is blonde and American, and so therefore you're put in a compromising position.
Those are the two things.
That's right. I guess the problem is, like, I was struck by this thought watching Beyonce on stage. She's not even credited as Beyonce. It's Beyonce Knoll. She didn't even have the mononym yet. And, you know, if you don't have the mononym yet when you're headed for a mononym.
If you don't have the mononym, you're basically shit.
Yeah.
It's basically over for you.
Yeah. But the thought occurred to me, if Beyonce hadn't secured the bag, she might still be doing this. Like,
Yeah, this is a glimpse into like the other timeline.
yeah.
Where Beyonce was just having to do this kind of shit.
If she hadn't, like, hit the big become Beyonce button.
If anyone knows where that is,
Jeremy Corbyn refuses to hit the become Beyonce button. And fair enough, actually, yeah.
Yeah, I can see how that could be problematic.
but Beyonce is here. She's playing the character of Foxy Cleopatra.
Yeah, Foxy Brown, Cleopatra Jones, two blaxploitation heroines smashed together.
She sings a song called Goldmember as Goldmember arrives, played by Mike Myers.
Yes, and if you don't know what Goldmember's deal is,
Hey, everybody, I'm from Holland. Isn't that beer?
That's basically it.
That's the bit.
for the whole movie,
But they say that almost verbatim, like 3 or 4 times in the film.
They named the movie after this character.
Yeah.
They were
They're like,
so
this
confident.
is the big breakout character, Goldmember. That's it. He's got a penis made of gold.
Yep.
He's from Holland.
Yep.
And also they do this thing where I think they kind of like tried it and then abandoned it, where he like eats his own skin.
yeah,
What was that? Like,
There's so many aspects to Goldmember as a character. It's like cut like 2 or 3. Like,
But like, I always find Europerv kind of a fun bit, but like, I just think about how this is a movie franchise for school bullies, like by and for. Growing up Dutch in the UK in the 2000s must have been fucking miserable. Not because of this movie, just in general.
yeah, you're in Britain and you're Dutch. Ugh.
So he meets Beyonce, and they do this scene that they've lifted from a Peter Sellers comedy where she's.
those are my
I like this one. I was like, this is good.
Yeah, it's a good joke, which is why is how you know it's stolen. Is she's sitting with her back to him, and then Nathan Lane, who was still in the closet
Lane,
at this
that's
point,
nice.
possibly, is sort of like lip syncing her in order to make it seem like he's having a conversation with Austin. And you do a bunch of fun jokes with that. Nathan Lane's sort of like serving, quite frankly.
Yeah, he fucking nails this.
It's really good. Like, it's
Yeah.
a perfect joke. They set up the expectation and they keep subverting it. Like, at one point, he closes like his finger in a makeup mirror, and Foxy Cleopatra goes, "Ouch!" And Austin's like, and it's like, it's actually good. Which now I'm fucking furious to find out. But it's
Well, I can think of 2 things to cancel this with. First of all, is that it ends with a gay joke, which is Nathan Lane trying to kiss Austin, and Beyonce being like, "Huh?" The other thing is that Foxy Cleopatra's backstory is that Austin left her. He like jilted her 8 years ago. Now, Beyonce.
I'm sorry, but look at this man.
if
And
you're
then in your head,
jilted by this,
just picture Beyonce
I
as
make
in
you horny,
from
baby?
Beyonce.
you know what she looks like. It's
Yeah.
Beyonce.
He left her.
That's not even the angle I'm taking. The angle I'm taking is when
doing the maths.
when they filmed this movie, Beyonce, 20 years old.
She was jilted
When they
8
filmed
years
this?
ago.
Yes,
Oh yeah.
she was 20. So when so he left her when
Questionable,
she
but
was 12. Again, historical allegations.
Yeah,
Vladimir Nabokov has logged on.
So Austin goes to like rescue his dad. His dad, by the way, because he looks a bit like him because they have the same glasses in common, It's Michael Caine.
It's Michael fucking
Michael.
Caine.
My name is Michael Caine. Because Michael Caine did a series of movies about a spy called Harry Palmer, who's like a working class piece of shit. Yeah, someone's seen Funeral in Berlin. It's bloody good. They're a good series of movies. You know what this isn't? A good series of movies.
But the vibe is that his dad, Nigel, is just like Austin Powers. Again, like this is where he got it from. He's like a shagger. He's backstage, like he's like shagging his 4 guards who are all 10 out of 10 smoke shop baddies. And I'm like, you couldn't come up with something more creative for like what his father is? Like his father's Colin Firth and is just normal? Wouldn't that have been fun? Like, I don't know. Anything?
No, instead, Michael Caine showed up to work and he was like, yeah, I will give you an hour and a half of Harry Palmer again. I will not put in any effort and I will collect my paycheck. Goodbye. Forever. Which is...
And that's a king.
Yeah, that's a decent sort of thing. It hurts the movie, but who cares? The movie doesn't deserve it. You know,
they do a bit where Austin and his dad have to communicate without alerting the guards as to what they're saying. So they use Cockney rhyming slang, and the subtitles translate, but then the subtitles give up and just get a question mark. I did think that was quite funny.
I thought that was right.
Yeah, because English people are incomprehensible.
I'm English.
Yeah. I wrote this bit's racist against English brackets good.
Yep, correct. At which point they get captured by Goldmember, and we have to be racist against the Dutch, which is also good. Yep.
My notes say he's European. That's the joke.
Yeah, I mean, it's sort of like fair game to be racist against the Dutch in the sense of like, POV, you're in Indonesia in the 16th century.
Hey, everybody, I'm from Holland. Isn't that weird?
My notes are just like, what's the bit? Because he's just doing shit, and you're like,
yeah. The one bit he has that I like is that after he makes a reference, he says the reference to himself.
I think that was what I was in reference to when I read it. I was just...
that's one of the things that he does. But the movie tries to like have its cake and eat it again, right? With the ultimate example of that, which is Nigel's line.
There are only 2 things I can't stand in this world.
So you remember this?
People who are intolerant of other people's cultures and the Dutch.
That's actually my unironic stance, though.
But the thing is, right? I'll take like people who are intolerant of other people's cultures, but not from a movie that did.
This is my twin sister. Her name.
Yeah, true.
That comes up quite a bit. Actually,
if you have the ability to remember 10 minutes previously,
I'm sorry.
This movie will make you very angry.
Yeah. Here's a list of Goldfinger's bits. Number 1, roller skating, obviously.
Yeah.
2, he's very flexible.
Yeah.
3, he eats the skin off of himself.
Sure.
4, he keeps saying toit. He goes like,
toit, like a toiger.
Like a toiger. He does the references and then says it like weird time.
Village people. Didn't mean for that to be so loud or greeted by so much silence.
It really threw me off. But that's so many bits. Yeah. And none of them come to fruition.
This is
he just
does
them.
The breakout character of the movie. They named the film after this man. Like this is the big. Oh, Mike Myers has got a new character. Everybody, it's
Oh, and his dick's made out of gold. Also, sorry, genuinely, I forgot that part.
That is like the thing that they like soft pedal. Like the man has a golden penis, and this is like barely mentioned.
Yeah.
Right. If I had a golden penis, it would be like 90% of the things I talk about.
Sick of this narrative that you have to always disclose when you have a golden penis. But so
it is weird that he's from Holland.
Keir Starmer being like 99.9% of women don't have a penis, but 0.1 and it's gold.
Yeah. So his dad gets kidnapped again.
What a gold star lesbian is.
Fucking incredible.
Thank you so much. Your chess queens bit was the highlight of last night.
I love that.
Yeah. Someday I'll tell a joke. Oh, well.
Doesn't seem likely.
Yeah, signs point to no. The dad gets kidnapped. Austin takes Foxy back to 2002, does not mention 9/11 happened. Like literally, like this is the
top of my list.
Yeah, it's not the next scene, but like he fucks her. It's implied like off screen, and then the morning after he like shows her funny moments on YouTube, which is to be fair a great seduction technique, right? But like even so,
doing an edit of this where he's just showing a philosophy tube.
Like this bit when they're both in the car, this is the start of like a real issue for me because they keep doing like reverse shot of Beyonce followed by Mike Myers.
That's true.
And every time I'm seeing Beyonce, I'm like, Beyonce, and then it cuts to Mike Myers, like, oh.
It's troubling. It's troubling.
It's jarring. I know it's just shot reverse shot, but it's still jarring to me. They should soft fade him in every time, so I have enough time to be like, okay, it's coming.
Star wipe.
The one thing...
Do something that isn't a star wipe.
Yeah, the Austin Powers wipe. One thing I will say, though, Beyonce can't act yet.
Yeah, but she's playing across from Mike Myers, so you don't really notice that.
That's true.
Yeah, I think she's just fine.
She's got like star power. She's got presence, which Mike Myers doesn't. But she hasn't hit the big become Beyonce button yet, so she can't really act. And she doesn't need to. She doesn't have like a character. But it I don't know. You see these the scenes with them playing off of each other, and it's just like no, not really. Also, he takes it to the future, and her hair straightens, which is curious. All right, so Dr. Evil been transferred to a regular prison. He's he's wearing a prison outfit, which I could describe as racist. He's wearing like a do-rag tied around his head.
It gets worse.
No,
it gets much worse. Yeah.
No, it's like a bandana. No, he's doing like a Crips thing.
Yes, he is because he does Seawalk later.
Yes, he does. Yeah, he's got the button up, tied up with just the one button, things like this.
Which is, again, like three different things mashed together.
It's like, this is racist, but like, it's so confusing. It's like the Mr. Burns, all the things trying to get through the door. I'm like, I'm not even offended by this anymore because it's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Not that I should be offended by that. Very white. But
Frau Verbissner shows up. I think you're an ally if you're offended by these things.
Thank you.
Yeah, anytime. I am also white, so I'm just it's a conversation we're having with each other, you know?
What's important is we both feel really good about it.
Oh, yeah. The wokest podcasts.
Let's go, boys.
What happens next? Frau Verbissner shows up, has a conjugal visit. She's dressed in like a white trash outfit. It's terrible. They make out, which is played for laughs.
But she slips him a handcuff key, is the vibe, through kissing.
Sure.
We get a flashback of his childhood. He mentions casually that he was adopted.
Uh-huh.
And at this point, if you've ever seen the movie before, you know exactly what they're fucking gonna do.
Yeah. Also, she tells him that his son, Scott, is becoming evil to become more like him. Which is like a cool sort of update, you know, like... It's like my parents, you know, she's becoming evil, you know?
Isolated.
Every time your parents' friends ask, how's Alice doing? She's becoming evil.
Yeah.
More and more every day.
That's right, yeah. So at this point, he tries to orchestrate an escape amongst the other inmates. They go, no, and he raps.
It's a Hard Knock Life brackets Dr. Evil version. Available on Spotify. Well, it was available on iTunes at the time, but
yeah, you could get the soundtrack to this.
You could.
They made a separate music video for this that was on MTV.
Should get Elvis Costello in here, I think. Night Two Heads, thank you.
And there's a couple of things that are like bafflingly racist about doing a parody of like a rap video when you are Mike Myers. And when you're assisted by Vern Troyer. But what this culminates in is a joke about bitches that has a pun on prison bitches. And then we cut to like two ostensibly male prison inmates wearing mops as wigs and rouge. It's real bad, folks. And it's worse knowing that it's like, I feel worse about this than the like, it's a man baby shit, because this is like in service of another racist joke. Like it's a sort of like an ingredient in a more racist stew, you know?
It's generally getting to the point where if they do a single joke that isn't racist, even if the joke's bad, I'm like, thank you.
Yeah, well done. Thank you for, you know what we call that? Growth. So they escape. They do like a spotlight bit with the guard towers, which is funnier than the fucking rap video bit. They could have just done that, but they don't.
It's not. None of it is.
I'm trying to give it like remedial credit to be
It's
like
funnier.
It's almost funny.
It has
Watching
a virtue
I'm
of
like,
not being offensive.
That's true.
That doesn't mean that it's funny.
It's just vaudeville shit. Yeah.
But then, you know what? We got to get the mole guy back. Everyone's favorite. Everyone's favorite guy. He comes back and is like, "Hey, Austin and Beyonce. Wow, hi Beyonce. I've got an update for you. Please don't comment on the mole on my face, but Dr. Evil has moved his organization to
a disputed area between Japan and Russia.
They go
known as Japan. Tokyo, in fact.
Yeah. It's just in fucking Japan. Basil Exposition goes in and goes, "We've got a mole in Dr. Evil's lair." And at this point I go, "Oh." And then he comes out on stage and Austin goes, "You've got a mole on your face." And he goes, "Yes."
Well, no,
that's the fucking joke.
The joke is that he's trying not to say it, and
But
it's
he
like
keeps
the full
saying it
contestant, it's like
accidentally.
mole, and it's like, but you're not trying that hard not to say the thing, and also the thing isn't something that would occur to most people now. I feel like it's noticeable, but that's just like a shitty thing to say.
I quite like that Beyonce reacts like that. Beyonce is just like,
Yeah.
She
has a real genuine moment of, what are you doing?
she forgot to act, and she just did that like personally. She was
What?
She comes out of that scene looking great.
She looks great the whole fucking movie.
Like morally.
Yeah.
Obviously she looks great.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Her
Ridiculous.
makeup in the scene she first appears is phenomenal. Like,
So Dr. Evil has moved to a submarine off of Japan. And, you know, he does a bunch of jokes, some of which are funny. There's a physical comedy bit where a giant globe lands on his head. And I'm like, yeah, that's pretty funny. But at the end of it, he doesn't get a laugh and he goes,
Tough sub.
"Thank you." Me in accident and emergency at 3 a.m. with a tea towel on this wrist going, "Yeah, cheers."
said I was sorry.
They said they were safety shears as well, so it's like, you're fucking gonna.
You just gotta be careful with these fucking things, you know.
Yeah. This has been here every night. There's just like a cable
As
tie
a threat,
next to me for the
as a
whole
warning.
thing.
Anytime you want me to move on from a bit, you're just like, oh fuck, jeez, okay.
No, come on, Ass. I know you. I know you know how to break out of a cable tie. Come on. This isn't even a very good one.
No, I know. You gotta get
Try
the
that
rest.
afterwards just to see if I can do it.
It's
Not
not
on
even.
stage,
It's
though,
not
'cause
even
what if I
long
couldn't?
enough.
Like,
It's
can you
not even-
imagine?
You could not get like 2 wrists through. No. Maybe later if you're good.
We could do it. I think you could, yeah. Sorry, this is completely... And if you're listening to this after the fact, fuck you. Just should have made it just
like,
Stratton.
puzzle out the relationships in this podcast.
Let's spend the rest of the pod. Actually, can't get out of it. Yeah.
Chained herself to a microphone. She refuses to stop podcasting.
So Dr. Evil is at this point wearing the Stromberg fit. He's become wet Dr. Evil. And as a consequence of this, he's also become homophobic. Like when you're at sea, you have to become homophobic. It's sort of like in the international laws of the sea that you have to start saying things like,
I don't think that's something one dude should say to another dude.
because Goldmember like hits on him or something.
Goldmember says that he's toit like a toiger,
Yes.
which is one of his bits.
Yeah,
Remember
it's in fact the same line.
It's actually the same line.
If you
It's
look
not
closely, it's
a
the same
recurring
line.
bit to just say the same thing.
Yeah, it's
You
just
have to make a joke.
It's just the same
It's
bit.
like a punch
Yes.
line. Something that's funny. I don't know.
So Nigel's been captured. He comes in, tries to break out. There's a kind of funny bit where he's like, "Yeah, I've done this so many times, I don't even need to like hit anyone. You can just like tell guys to lie down."
Yeah,
and they'll
I
it."
do.
This is
I do
good.
quite like this because the guard's also around him and he goes, "Right, the way this works is you come at me one at a time and I'll take you out." And they do it and he takes them out. And then the final guy is there and he's just like, "Come on, you've got no chance. Like you don't even have a name. You're an unnamed character." Like she goes, "Why don't you just lie down on the floor, son?" And he does it. And like, I do quite like it. That's my favorite bit. Like, and Michael Caine does sell it. Like.
My favorite bit in this scene is unintentional, but number 2, Robert Wagner, is still in the movie. And he just like comes up and helps Dr. Evil at one point and just like stands there for a bit. And then later on, you just see him just like leaving. And I was like, God, he wishes he could fucking do that from this movie. Just Robert Wagner dejectedly walking away. You're like, Feel you, brother.
So Mini-Me takes Nigel to a cell.
Yes,
and
at
then
which point we find out that
scene.
Nigel Powers is a little person chaser. And I'm going to explain this because the dynamic should be, this should be...
Oh, yeah, it was very familiar.
Because as soon as he gets alone with him, he's like, I think it's terrible the way they treat you. Can I see your penis?
They don't get to do a you deserve respect bit to a little person after spending a movie and a half doing like rude jokes about little people and then immediately thereafter doing a disrespectful joke. It's like, this is going to come back a lot. You don't get to do that.
No.
Great portrayal of like ordinary British authority then. Just being like, show me the penis.
Yeah.
Like,
You deserve more
what's
respect
going on
for your
in the
getting. Let's
situation
see
there?
that car.
Yeah.
What you got down now?
A British authority figure would never say the first part. But so Mini-Me gets groomed because he does show him his dick.
The joke is that Mini-Me has a very large penis, despite being a very small man.
Fine, whatever. And Nigel sort of begins to groom him.
It's unbelievable. It's like the line reads, these are like co-located. He goes, well, just because you're 1/8 their size, you shouldn't get 1/8 the respect beat. So is all of you in proportion, or like?
That's literally it.
Genuine.
My DM request the night after one of these. I thought you were so funny. What that dick do? Not much. Leave me alone.
Leave me alone, heads in the audience.
I make up for it in other areas.
Tough sub.
So Austin and Foxy go to Japan because they have to go to Japan.
At this point, I was like, oh, okay. We introduced those two Japanese women earlier on, the twins.
No.
They're going to come
No.
back because they're like
No.
secretly spies, right? They were trying to tell him some secret information. They weren't really... No, they never appear again.
Unmedicated ADHD script writing. And you're just like, it's gone. Next thing. And yeah, they got a lead to go to a sumo match fight.
Yes, of course.
Game.
Of course.
It's tradition. And I mean, like, not to get too pious about this shit, but isn't sumo like a legit, like, religious observance?
Yeah, isn't this meant to be like quite an important thing?
Yeah, and what it's been defiled by is Mike Myers #3.
Yeah, because this franchise has an established very large character in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
I'm dead sexy. Look at my sexy body.
It's Mike Myers in a fat suit. His name's Fat Bastard. He does a terrible Scottish
The
accent.
guy from the second one.
From the second
yeah,
one.
Yeah, the joke is that he's large.
Yeah. And he's just doing some sumo stuff.
Yeah. That guy he's on stage interacting with, that's a real Shinto priest, man. Like, you're doing sumo. He grabs a guy by the cock through the fucking thing. You can't do that. It's too hard. No, it's not going to surprise anyone to be like, this sumo is inaccurate, it's pretty inaccurate.
When you say it's too hard, do you mean the cock or like?
I mean,
sort of rock hard.
It's made
rigid.
of gold.
No comment, Your Honor. Mm-hmm. He comes out and everyone boos, and it's like, there's not really supposed to be like heels in sumo.
Yeah, it's Japanese wrestling, right? No. Wrestling is also very big in Japan. You could have just done that.
Sumo coming, I was like, fuck that guy. Unless
fuck
you
it,
do,
this
I
one was
might
the
be wrong.
gods.
I'm happy to be wrong.
But yeah, so at this point, Beyonce helps Austin infiltrate the back rooms of the sumo joint.
We got Fat Bastard back, so you know what we're doing is shit.
Yes, yeah, we're doing a joke where she wears a traditional Japanese outfit, which I'm not even sure is that racist. How is that racist? In which direction?
Yeah,
I need
not
to see a picture of it now to identify.
not
in which
entirely.
way it is.
She's wearing a straw hat.
Answer's on a postcard
and a
about that
kimono.
one.
Yeah. And you know that she's pushing a laundry basket, which the dudes dump the loincloths in. They keep calling the loincloths diapers, which they're not. Like
also, they come out as like one big thing because they're like fake props, and as I understand it, they're like actually quite intricately wrapped. And
we're going to spend the next hour talking about the exact ways this got sumo wrong.
I would.
Fat Bastard didn't throw any salt. Like it doesn't fucking honor the gods.
And also, you could have had a joke where like somebody's throwing salt and then Fat Bastard's doing it, and then we see that he's throwing it on chips. Like, come on! I just thought of that off the top of my head. It's better than anything in this.
We do what feels like about 5 more hours of jokes about how a fat bastard shits a lot.
Yeah.
Austin briefly inhales a sumo loincloth. And then we do some wire fighting jokes because Crouching Tiger and The Matrix were like current when this came out. And the joke is fat bastard because he's fat needs like a giant team of dudes to hold the wire that he's wire fighting off of. But the wire fighting goes wrong. He gets stuck in a sort of like suspension bondage situation.
Tough sub.
Thank you. Every time I do one of these, I zero in on which one is going to be the drop that I come back to. So, like, first night was going to be...
I'm English.
Second night was... And now I know that night 3 is tough sub.
Tough sub.
So Beyonce holds this man at gunpoint
Yes.
and says, please tell us the next location.
She steps on him, and he tries to lick her shoe. Now, two things, right? One, he just like me, right? Yeah, of course. Other thing, this is one of a couple of times...
The problem is I looked away and I missed watching.
Does anyone have like a spray nozzle for like a bottle of sparkling water?
Just like...
I filled it full of the silicone lube that makes this outfit work. I know where you keep your spray bottle.
But no, this is one of abrupt change in tone. This is one of a couple of times where she gets treated like a sex object by the movie in like a really demeaning way. And the movie is just like, isn't it funny that Beyonce is just like beautiful? And it's like, well, not kind of, I guess. Like, it's funny if the joke is, he's a horny piece of shit, fine. I've made tons of those jokes. That's like, I got 49,000 followers off of doing that one joke, right? But like, I don't know. When you do the like sort of exploitative shot up her leg and stuff, it's like, it's fine when we do it, but like...
Fat Bastard tries to be sympathetic.
Yeah, they do the faux profound thing from the last movie again, where he's like, I'm unhappy because I'm fat, and it's like, yeah, okay, fine. This is a comedy movie that sort of puts the light of that because you keep making jokes about him being a fat piece of shit, and then you're immediately going to undercut that with another joke about him being a fat piece of shit.
Maybe he's unhappy because you keep making fun of him, Austin.
And yeah, Hollywood still makes this movie. He basically does the plot of The Whale followed by a fart noise.
Darren Aronofsky is a very good filmmaker. Very much enjoy all of his work.
The other thing is, like, he gets a line that's like, I'm quite into my sumo right now.
Wow.
That would have been a legitimately, like, better character arc to be like,
he's just like
I'm just
earnestly
on this.
doing it.
Yeah, I'm like the Tochinotion of this shit. I'm just like,
if anyone wants to do an edit of like the whale poster
Like
where it's
Tochinotion
Fat
fan.
Bastard, that would fucking bang on like 2008 Twitter maybe.
So
you have to go back in time to do that bit,
And
obviously.
then invent Twitter, I think.
I think it was around in 2008. Thank you.
Thank you, Elon, for joining us tonight.
a horrible thing to say to any audience member. At which point we see Scott again, and last time we saw Scott was in the post-credit scene of the last movie where he was wearing like eyeliner and lipstick and he was going full femboy. And this is
great.
Normal again.
Yeah, and this time he started balding. And again, if that happens, you just start
Death is such a
finasteride,
shame.
you know? Start finasteride, get a hair transplant. Your podcasting will be better than ever. Now that I've said that, it's retroactively a business expense.
No, it isn't.
No, it isn't.
So Scott has kind of stepped up to the evil plate. He has finally obtained some sharks with lasers, which of course Dr. Evil wanted from the first
lasers.
one. And Dr. Evil is finally like proud of him. And they have a moment of like reconciliation, which of course makes me jealous. Crucially, none of this is funny.
No.
Yeah, they forgot to put any jokes in this scene.
Sorry, I have a drop for this.
That is not funny.
Yes.
They shouldn't have given
And
us that
then we
one,
need to go
but-
to the next location because Fat Bastard tells them that the tractor beam is being built for Dr. Evil by a Japanese man.
Yeah, what's that dude's name?
His name is Mr. Roboto. They do it immediately. Like
They don't even let you,
line
like-
in the next scene. He's
At
like, hello,
least-
my name is Mr. Roboto. And Oscar, tomorrow got him, Mr. Roboto.
Yes,
That's
at least
straight
they
away.
don't sort of like set it up for like 5 minutes like the mole jokes, but still. And they do some gags where like the subtitles of the Japanese that he's speaking are like obscured by an object and they exist in the world, and Austin can't see what he's saying. So it's like you think he's saying, "Please eat some shit."
But they explain it. Like they explain it. We can see it with our eye. We see that it's obscured, and then Beyonce moves it, and she goes, "No. He was saying, please have some shiitake mushrooms," and I'm like, "Yes, yep." Mm-hmm. I'm there. I got it already. And then the next time it happens, he walks over to some shit and he says some fucking, I don't fucking. And she says it. She explains it again, and I'm like, yes. I can read. If you cut out all of the like explaining the joke, you could maybe have. I'm not gonna say you'd have a good movie, but what you would have is like 60 minutes of television.
I have some fun trivia for this.
Oh, no, you don't.
Yes, I do.
It's not going to be fun to me. I'm going to be upset by it.
The original cut of this movie, it brought back Felicity from movie 2. It brought back Mustafa from movie 1 and 2.
Release the Mustafa cut.
Yeah, I'm into like Jodorowsky's Goldmember. But then it's also 3 hours long.
No. How did they stretch that? There's not enough for 90 minutes. 3 hours long.
3 hours.
Oh my god! If I
long.
had the original cut of this,
Like Avatar 2 level, like
yeah.
Well, the reason
No Time to Die length.
yeah.
Well, the reason why it's 3 hours long is because, as a theory I've been developing over the course of these episodes, people stop being able to say no to Mike Myers as he gets more successful. And so they stop being able to say, no, take that joke out. No, don't do that. End the movie here.
We need less musical numbers, Mike.
Yes, yeah. No, your band can't be in it. No, your friends can't be in it. But at this point, he just gets everything he wants because they think it's going to make a shitload of money. And the result is it gets cut off at a later date when someone sees the edit and is like, that's 3 hours long.
That's like half the film.
But crucially, someone looked at this and was like, you got to cut like an hour and a half out of this movie. Not the Japanese twins bit, though. That stays. Because I really liked that, you know?
It was just them explaining the joke like another like 8 times. Is the whole movie.
Yeah.
Like, did you get it? What we did there was you thought that she told him to fuck off, but actually it was her name.
So Mr. Tanaka from You Only Live Twice, whose name has been changed to a racist joke, doesn't tell them anything. They leave, making the scene pointless. There is one joke here, which is like a top secret joke, which is he says, I think he's lying to us. Beyonce says, tell me something I don't know. And he says, I open mouth kissed a horse once. And you know what's great about that punchline? There's one of it. It doesn't come back. They don't go, you kissed a horse one time? I kissed a horse one time. No, it's there and it's gone.
To be fair, not to them, but to me, they do explain that one again as
They
well.
do, in fact, explain it. I'm sorry.
Do they?
Yeah,
Do they
no,
really?
Beyonce goes, what? And he goes, that's something you don't know.
Oh, Christ. God damn.
Right?
But that's
You don't have to do
it's like a serial killer, but for jokes.
Mr. Editor, I gave you all the clues.
Too many, in fact.
So they sneak backstage. The sneak
Uh-huh.
backstage, there's a bit of Austin pisses in a fountain. It's not funny.
Yeah, my note for this is, it's piss. And it's like,
Yeah, great.
I wrote, fuck you.
yeah. It's like, piss is fine, you know, with the right person and everything. But like, it's...
Tough sub.
But...
I'll tell you, we
Big
haven't
cheer
got...
for piss there.
Yeah, piss heads in your... We haven't got enough...
Give it up for piss!
Let's go! one of the top 5 bodily fluids.
Yeah, after like lymph.
Yeah, after blood comes spit,
Bile.
tears.
Lymph and then
And
piss.
Did you
Yeah,
get
of course.
cum and jizz on that list?
No! Blood
They're
comes,
distinct
spit,
moods.
tears, piss, jizz. Squirt. It's distinct from... All right.
All right, do you want...
Okay.
What are you looking for here?
I don't know how to segue from that to what I was going to say earlier, which is we haven't got enough use out of...
Careful, Whitey!
And also, of course,
Careful, Whitey.
both of which we have on here. And
On
there's
deck.
like to be fair to it, there's been about 50 racist jokes that we've done thus far.
Oh,
and
that's
not
true.
I'm
hit
sure we're
careful
not done.
ones.
That we've done? It's fine.
I mean
They'll
that
take
we've
them out in the
gone
edit.
through.
Sure, right, yeah.
So, summarizing slightly, they go backstage. Goldmember's about to smelt Michael Caine.
Yeah,
He
penis
gets away
first,
again.
like a Goldfinger, kind of.
Michael Caine hits on Beyonce, which you're old enough to be her grandfather at this point. Like,
Yes, yeah. Optimistic, apart from anything else, let's say. And he did a Goldmember escapes with the key to activate the fucking thing. At which point we get a shitty car chase. And I write down, how much did Mini and Jaguar and AOL and Heineken and
Mini.
Virgin Atlantic chip in for this? It's endless.
The fucking Mini. The Mini comes out and it's got a Union Jack fucking flag on it. And I'm like, you
That ain't no woman.
I accidentally hit hatecrime.wav, which...
you never want to hate crime.
I'm like, you can't just put a Union Jack on something that's not the same as writing a joke. No. Good laugh on that. I'll note that down. Again, if you're watching this after the fact, fuck you.
Who would do such a thing?
Sorry, I gotta go to lesbian.
I have come to embrace the love that dare not speak its name.
Thank you. So, yeah, there's a car chase with little cars, because Japan. They do a weak-ass Godzilla joke. Charmander is there.
Oh, that might be what I wrote fuck you to. No, I wrote fuck you a second time. Okay, sorry.
It's mainly that, I see. Yeah.
It's just like all my notes are just fuck you.
Yeah.
I'm like, God, what happened in this movie?
That character really made an impact on you, didn't she?
Careful, Whitey.
I like how this half of the audience got that, and then there was a clear beat, and then you guys got it.
So they escape, right? Goldmember escapes into the sub, disappears, and Austin and his dad have to have a profound argument about parenting. Because, it's a movie about sons and fathers. It's a real thing. It's also interrupted by the fact that Michael Caine says the word rodeo like this.
This ain't my first rodeo.
I will not do a second take. Slightly effeminate Michael Caine there. I will not do a second take.
You're only supposed to cut the bloody balls off.
All right,
See, I felt bad about that one. I was like, that's hack.
All right, hold on. Will I try and find my balls, for God's sakes?
Me getting out of this.
Yeah, it's like 0, 0. But so it's a long time looking, So Mike Myers fucking tries to sell you on it's sad because his dad was trying to be his friend instead of his father. It's an orchiectomy joke, folks.
It's just good. I think it's funny. I have fun with my friends. I don't know. What is it, a crime now?
Shortly.
You hit the joke. There we go.
I completely forgot another one of Goldmember's bits, by the way. He never does this bit again, which is when he's first introduced, he's like...
A smoking a pancake?
Fuck, that's the best bit he does as well.
It literally is. A cigarette and a flapjack. It's like, yeah, Dutch people like smoking something and eating like a pastry. Fine, that's funny. I'll laugh at that. I don't respect myself.
Do they?
No.
I don't know.
I don't know. This is not a democracy.
Does any of this matter? What are we doing here?
The life of this world is but a veil of an illusion.
Now, yeah, hang on, I'm trying to find it. Give me a
I suggest you don't worry about this sort of thing and just enjoy yourself. That goes for
Thank
you.
you.
Beautiful.
That'll come out in the edit.
Yeah, so it's like
tighten that up like a toiga. Now you have to leave it in fuck. All right.
Village people. So, yeah, this is so shit and so insincere that it's like, oh, yeah, I would like you to, have a serious sort of, emotional core to this movie because I think I can carry that off and do my band and rap and do all the jokes that I want to do.
He can carry an emotional core to this movie.
He's so wrong because he can't. Beyonce is just there. She hasn't gotten any directions even. She's just reacting to stuff as Beyonce. It's just like...
Quite well. Like, she's doing great. You know?
Yeah, like she's being...
so good.
One thing I will say about Beyonce, she is Beyonce very well. The best, I would say.
Very strongly. Much and much. More and more every day.
So they also, in particular, they disagree about which tactics to use in breaking into Dr. Evil's sub, and they decide to go their separate ways, which,
Yes.
okay, I'm devastated.
At which point, Mini-Me defects because he's been like, he has a grievance with his dad, with his clone, with himself. And we get another fight scene of Mike Myers beating the shit out of Vern Troyer in like a sort of comedy of errors way. It sucks. There is nothing much to say about it other than the fact that at the end of it, we do some more mole guy.
Yeah, mole
shit.
guy.
Yeah, the mole guy's back. Everybody.
Even Vern Troyer gets to go at the mole guy.
Yeah,
Right at the
that's
very
true.
start,
He
like,
gets
what
to do
he's-
the thing like silently.
He goes,
It's like, I can't.
So having defected, they make Mini-Me look like a mini Austin, which...
And then the other thing, yeah, they give him some agency for the first time in the movie by allowing him to sexually harass Beyonce. A couple of times, where he hands her some like notes with like like bawdy postcard sexual harassment. Where
the first one is it says, "You are so beautiful. Are you a clone of an angel?" Which is like quite sweet, and they should have left it there.
You.
Oh, they should have left it there. It would have been funny if Mini-Me is more charming than Austin is. But then he has to be crude about it, being like, "Do you want to fuck?" or whatever.
Yeah, the joke is, do you have a little clone in you? Do you want to? It sucks. It really, that's the level we're on. They do the Arthur Askew vaudeville "I thank you" thing, and it's fucking like explicitly. And it's like, yeah, there's a reason why we don't do musical comedy anymore. It's because
apparently this series didn't get the fucking memo on that one.
Yeah, the reason why we don't do musical comedy anymore is because all of the people who did it were murdered by Jack the Ripper. Apart from one who escaped to do this movie in the persona of Mike Myers.
Yeah, Mitch Benn. He's the last one alive still doing musical comedy.
And also me, that one time I came out as bisexual. And then immediately was like, nah.
3 songs to come out as
Gonna
bisexual.
need a bigger
What
one.
are we doing?
It's fine, you get a band in the next one. So...
Just supposed to be achieved like interstitial cuts just right of your face.
Just realizing all this shit about why would you like cast your friends in your videos. I just do that. I cast Reese as myself. Like...
Yeah, who did that voice work anyway?
Not me.
Yeah. But so, God, what happens next?
The submarine car, Dr.
liver,
Evil
I guess.
holds the world to ransom.
Yeah, he blackmails the world, and fucking
Ozzy Osbourne.
Oh yeah, there's one. There is one thing. There is one thing, which is so. Before we get there, I do have one note, which is I put a cross in the Dr. Evil trans column because he just says offhandedly about a joke.
I haven't laughed that hard since I was a little girl, thank you.
Which, annoying jokes.
Whatever.
Bad relationship with his family. Explicitly shaved scrotum. It all makes sense. That's a trans woman, baby.
I mean, we get 2 flashbacks of him, and he's a boy in both of them.
Yeah, okay,
I don't
don't.
want to be rude. I'm not giving him fucking props for that. He doesn't. He literally doesn't even laugh that hard before that fucking joke.
Yeah, that's true.
He laughed like medium amount. Sorry, that was
Ozzy
not
Osbourne.
for the
That's fine.
comedy.
Yeah,
Ozzy
yeah.
Osbourne's here.
They
Just
like-
with a no but.
They just no.
Yeah, not even a but.
You like
Just
Carrie Fishered
just
me.
like-
You were like, no, it's time to stop
no.
now. Just put a hand on my shoulder, just like, no, it's time to
Yeah,
stop.
like this man is not trans mask. Neither is fucking Dr. Evil.
You're right, actually. You've talked me around. This isn't funny. I apologize.
Yeah, because you came out here being like, God, this movie's so good. No, what are we gonna do about you?
It's fine. Do some Voyager plaque bits. They love that shit. So,
I mean, I'm sure I've got like 5 more in me. They shouldn't have sent a golden record tour. They should have just sent like King Crimson up there. Like aliens be like, okay.
They infiltrate the fucking base is what happens next. They do a racist joke about Beyonce's afro like popping out when it dries.
Beyonce looks good in a scuba suit.
That's true.
Which is an incredibly difficult piece of clothing to look good in.
Yeah, new Ultimate Abbey fantasy dropped, scuba diving with Beyonce. I'll just leave you to that one.
I know this broad. I'll give it 5 weeks.
Oh, she's writing it down.
We do have to talk about the Aussie bit a little.
Yeah. They like, in order to threaten the UN, Dr. Evil pulls a satellite that looks like a pair of tits out of the sky. In the previous movie, they had done that with a rocket that looked like a dick and balls. And they had done the joke, that looks like an enormous dick. And then it cuts to a guy who's like, doesn't that look like an enormous penis? And so on for like 25 minutes, right? This time...
Maybe that's what the joke... That's why it was 3 hours long this time. It was just like... It was like a Stuart Lee. It was like a Stuart Lee bit. It just went on for an hour.
Yeah.
Like,
I think that might have been good.
yeah.
I would maybe have watched like 2 hours and be like, this is
You would have
okay.
like trauma bonded to it. You would have had like Stockholm syndrome from it. But yeah,
so come back around. I'd be like, okay.
What we do instead is we the Starfucker
looks like
instinct
tits.
cuts in, and instead you get Ozzy Osbourne,
Well, they're using the same joke as they did in the last Austin Powers movie.
which. If I thought Tom Cruise sounded like he was on Quaaludes, Jesus Christ. There's outtakes of this in the credits. I didn't put any drops because they're all just like,
It took him so long to get one line.
one take out of Ozzy Osbourne.
And Sharon Osbourne is also there.
Yeah,
right.
also Jack Osbourne, also present. The daughter, whose name I don't recall, also present. Thank you. Yeah.
And they're here tonight. No.
But this is where we get to the core of this movie to me, which is doing a bad joke and then going, that was a bad joke, wasn't it? Is not the same as not having done a bad joke.
No.
It's actually worse.
Yes.
It's certainly not as good as having done a
Yes.
good joke.
Malice aforethought.
Exactly. That becomes
drag
first degree doing a bad joke at that point.
So,
It's a premeditated bad joke.
yeah. They do some more physical comedy, the joke of which is Mini-Me and Austin Powers infiltrate the sub together and they have to stand on each other's shoulders, but it's Mini-Me doing the legs. That's funny for a minute. It goes on for 5. And then they do the silhouette joke from the second movie again, where it looks like it's Austin Powers' dick is like, throwing him an apple and pointing and shit, but it's actually Mini-Me's hand. And I want to die. I also... Do you want to do like a murder-suicide?
Oh, Kill James Wonder coming out. And they brought a bag lunch. Smart. That was just for her.
No.
Thank you.
No, I also... Fuck.
It was a direct reference to a Bakun tweet, I think.
Yeah. Google R. Bud Dwyer
Do
with
not
2 Ds.
Google that.
Yeah, don't
Turn
do
safe
that
search
actually.
off as well, just to make sure.
Yeah, look for videos first. So...
That's right.
So Austin
That's the ideal audience response is slight
Silence and then someone going,
oh god.
That's the reaction we want in our comedy live show is fear.
Yeah, that's why you wore the outfit. Step 1, get on the stage. Step 2, establish dominance. One of the cable ties there. And, step 3, applause, right? Easy.
I didn't realize we could just ask for it.
Oh, no. We're not asking, we're telling.
Don't. I have to work with these two. This is...
I think that's the hottest thing you've ever done, Alice.
Good audience.
I'd be really turned on if I had the room.
The first 3 rows may get wet.
The Alice Top Arc starts now, live on stage. Thank you. So
we're going
point,
insane.
It's
been 3 nights of this.
Austin fucking
yes,
Powers.
I don't want to.
We're nearly there. We're nearly at the end.
I know.
There's
I
no
know,
more. This is
I
the
know.
last night. We're nearly there.
Okay.
Austin Powers is captured again.
Yeah, they reused the joke about reusing jokes. Dr. Evil gets another
Not
song,
the same
which
as
is
not having Donald Jones.
Does he?
yeah, Beyond the Sea. He's like dancing to
Didn't
it, like
even
lip
write it
syncing.
down. I wasn't bothered.
They really front-loaded the music, didn't they? It was like all the first half, and then like, fuck, we have to make a movie.
And then, like in this one next scene, the rest of the plot happens.
Yeah.
Like fully, it all just like no more scene changes. We're done with those. It's all happening here. It's all crammed into one thing, and that's the art of screenwriting.
How would this have been 3 hours?
Austin is about to kill Dr. Evil with a fucking gun, which I welcome it. Please.
Would have been a great ending. Like,
yeah, just like done, over. Movie ends. Carrie Fisher shows up. Go home. You know, it's a gritty post 9/11 reboot.
I really want to see the gritty post 9/11 Austin Powers reboot.
Well, not to worry, old man. The second one is yes, considerably, baby.
Yeah, the opener is in black and white. Like
Austin Powers beating Dr. Evil to death in a bathroom.
Smashing his head off a sink.
But so, as he's about to shoot him, Nigel, his dad, steps in front of him and is like,
It's me,
hey.
Mr. Powers, the author of all you pain.
Do you remember at the end of Austin Powers 2 when you did a joke about how it's a hack joke to do I am your father like Star Wars did? Well, do you know how you remember how it's a hack joke to do and you were secretly brothers all along? Another thing the Bond franchise did.
Unironically, just did Inspector.
No Time to
One
Die
of the worst movies of all time.
should be paying Goldmember fucking royalties. I still can't believe they did that. The author of All Your Pain was...
Author of All Your Pain was my brother all along. And then he goes to see him in the prison.
Brothers all along.
Just imagine if in the next James Bond film when Amazon remake it, they like Blofeld's been cloned, but he's won it.
Oh, I'm sure they'll do that sensitively.
Really? Just ripping it off. Yeah.
Someone who's just seen Goldmember watching a second movie, like, damn, that's a lot of Goldmember vibes in this bad boy.
But so Nigel goes, no, you're secretly brothers. You're all along. We intercut some like old footage of Michael Caine to make it seem like they were like, you know, he was there at the time and he was young and they got blown up in an accident that killed their mum and separated at birth or like after birth or whatever the fuck.
What I do love is the last. We're
nearly there.
So close. What the last time we? No,
that is haram.
The last time we did the flashback thing, which is very funny, is when Dr. Evil was talking about his adoptive father, he refers to as a Belgian man and his 15-year-old love slave with webbed feet found me and raised me as their own.
Just like Europe shit. It's a good
fuck
joke.
The Europeans.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Any joke that's just like Europe's a bit fucked, isn't it? I'm just like, yeah, it is. But every joke that England's a bit fucked.
Everybody, I'm from Holland.
It is weird. It's weird.
And of course, they share a border with the Dutch.
Yuck.
So at this point, I'm just like,
Oh, great. Isn't this magical?
because the movie really does try and be profound here. And you get the thing, like, honest to God, like, Austin gets, like, a legit monologue, which a 19-year-old on Tumblr would caption, Austin Powers says trans rights, because what Austin Powers says is,
you can spend your whole life trying to win your parents' acceptance, believe me. But at the end of the day, you've just got to do it for yourself, baby.
not taking that from the movie that gave me Fuck Me and Fuck You. No, thank you.
Yeah, no.
And it really means it, too. That's the saddest thing about this.
Also not taking this from a movie that has been more homophobic than the previous one.
Yes, literally.
Whence comes this bullshit? Did Mike Myers become a father in real life?
Yes, he did.
Right,
yeah, he did.
Imagine Austin Powers trying to do like a sensitive father bit, like
oh god,
like in fucking No Time to Die.
It was his toxic treasure. But so they do some more fucking musical bits, right? Fucking Dr. Evil turns good. We learn his like real name is Doug, which is a Maple Leafs joke because Mike Myers is Canadian.
What?
I'm sorry to tell you this. They should have to tell you if they're Canadian, but they really don't, and there's no way.
ACAB stands for Assigned Canadian of Birth.
Assigned. Fuck you.
Foxy Cleopatra is also present. She's there.
She's taken hostage.
Hey man,
Somebody
you know who
has
else
to
is
be.
also present? The fucker the movie is named after.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that guy.
Costa Goldmember. I'm like, oh, I remember. There he is. And he goes, no, I'm going to do the blowing up the earth thing.
Yeah.
Like, and then they stop him.
Scott Evil runs away because he's like, no, I remember the rest of this movie.
Well, there is one bit that is slightly funny where Goldmember's up on a catwalk, and as he's defeated, I think Foxy Cleopatra throws him off, and we think he's going to fall in the shark tank, and they go, and then they cut, and he's just landed right next to it.
Yeah.
That is good to me. Yeah.
That is quite funny.
He also dies like Yentl, which is fun.
Because do you know why that's good? Because they do setup, and then they do a reminder. Because first guy, fucking Mr. Roboto. By the way, Mr. Roboto, he's dead. I'm sorry. If anyone was attached to character Mr. Roboto, they threw him in the sharks with freaking laser beams on their freaking heads.
Yeah.
Cool. And then later they dropped the gold thing, the tractor beam activation, which by the way is shaped like a dick. They dropped that in there, and then Goldmember he falls and he doesn't hit the.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. He gets electrocuted.
The problem is we've been talking about this for like an hour and a half, and every time I go to explain why I think a joke is good, I'm like, oh, we didn't mention like eight shit bits they did.
You wrote "fuck off" here. Off is in all caps, and it's dug into the paper. That's like imprinted. You could
you can see that on the other side.
See on the next page.
It's just like Devin has written the word "off" at some point.
Look. It's Beyonce in full caps, like Ian, like I'm holding it. Beyonce?
It's like torn through. It's like it was like written by the Hulk. Remarkable.
I don't even remember what that's in reference to. I got to be honest with you.
It could be almost.
It's just a summary. I think.
I think it's the joke where he Dr. Evil's pants rip off, and Austin, who is down a ladder from him, goes, "I used to think you're crazy, but now I can see your nuts."
Yes, it is that, and don't worry, don't finish groaning yet. And the reason why I wrote "fuck off" is because
don't finish groaning yet, dude. Sorry.
Getting there. He does that, and then he does the fucking look directly at the camera, "Thank you very much" thing, and I'm like,
thank you.
Thank you. And it's like every time you make a bad joke, and I go, "That was a bad joke," and I'm like, "Yes."
Hey, but the I thank you thing, the I thank you thing is one thing that they don't explain where it's from. It's a musical comedian called Arthur Askey, and ordinarily every other joke in this movie they'll be like Arthur Askey.
By the way, that was a bit regarding Arthur Askey.
Yeah, exactly, and then it keeps coming up. But thankfully they don't.
He'd be in it like Burt Bacharach.
Yeah.
Who isn't in this one? Is he?
He's in the credits.
Oh God, and he's here tonight.
Thank you, Chris.
Yeah,
he is indeed.
But so,
oh yeah, my final note is Burt Bacharach is here. Yeah, you're right.
I got a whole page left. So I know. We'll get through it together.
Paragraph.
John Travolta is here.
Yeah, Goldmember dies, and then it's revealed to be John Travolta because it's back in the framing device of the movie, right? Except we know who's in the movie because we saw it at the start. There's Tom Cruise, there's Gwyneth Paltrow, there's Kevin Spacey, Danny DeVito, and John Travolta, which means they whitewashed Foxy out of the movie because they couldn't think of a second black actress.
Ooh.
For $1, name a second actress.
And here is my contribution. I think they missed the funniest possible joke, which is to make Beyonce's movie double Kelly Rowland.
Oh, that's so good. Yeah.
Oh well. So they get out of the fucking premiere. Dr. Evil's there. He's good now.
Fat bastard.
Fat bastard is there. Here. No longer fat because of a joke which has aged beautifully.
I went on the subway diet. Just like Jared.
Jared.
We'll have to play that again because they screamed over.
All right, all of you shut the fuck up. You will find a ball gag under your seat. Buckle it in now.
I went on the subway.
Shush.
I went on the subway diet. Just like Jared.
They really do name drop Jared Subway. I assume he has a surname. I assume the Subway company is like not.
That's right. Yeah, the nonce. Yeah.
I assume that's not his name.
Who is this man?
Jared Fogle.
Jared Subway.
He
Jared
lost a lot of
Fogle,
weight
okay.
on being Subway, and then he became like the face of Subway, and then he nonced. Yeah. And they were like, "Oh shit!"
They used him for all of their branding. All of
it. He was like 90% of our like budget.
And someone at Subway headquarters like, did the sandwiches cause this? We just have to
There's
check.
a pretty good Auntie Donna sketch about that, actually.
It was like as devastating to Subway as it would have been to this movie if Mike Myers had been accused of something.
Ooh.
Like, he was so central to their brand, and he was right up there. He was on all the ads, and then hyper nonce, mega nonce, omni nonce,
straight crossed state lines and everything. Like it became
cosmic
a federal noncing.
Oh my. Wow.
He was noncing on planes of existence we don't know the like of yet.
He was planning shit out. Like he did a charity marathon in New York and had set up the noncing before he even got to New York.
Hell.
No, I'm being for real.
Jesus. He had like a nonce itinerary?
Yeah. Yeah. Which is what made it federal, because he planned it before he crossed state lines. So suddenly the fucking FBI was involved in getting this nonce in.
I don't want that to be real like gradations of noncery, but like there's also like a very bad one.
Yeah. Like, also, I feel like it's concerning that in like 66.6% of these shows, we have zeroed in on someone's troubling federal case against them.
Yeah.
What is with this movie?
Like one head's in the
What?
A random task.
But so they get out of the theater, and this is the ultimate way that I know that Mike Myers is full of himself. He wrote himself in a kiss with Beyonce.
And she says, because I think they probably knew this was going to be the last one. She says, "Thank you, Austin, for everything," and then kisses him. And then it like pans up and like outside the movie theater, like, "Thank you, Austin Powers, for being such a great cultural juggernaut.
Yeah.
For all your fantastic contributions to cinema."
As if you were going to be surprised, right? The kiss is like dead. There's no chemistry to it. Fucking Mike Myers had more chemistry with Nathan Lane. Actually, that's a funny. Get him back in. Funnier joke.
He should have been playing
Get him
Beyonce
to do the
kiss. Like
in the fucking-
Mike Myers leans in and she spins around and it's Nathan Lane again.
So the thing is, right? Closing up now. If you read the scripts for these online, you can see that a lot of work went into saving Mike Myers from himself. A lesson for many auteurs. They cut a lot of his like worst ideas. The more successful he got, the less they could control him. And if you extrapolate from Goldmember, where there's like a studio guy going, this guy's great. He can do no wrong. He is, if you will, solid gold, right? If you extrapolate from Goldmember, the next Mike Myers movie, every role is played by him and it's 100% racist.
Yeah, it's a Norbit situation.
And that movie exists. And it's called The Love Guru.
We're not going to be doing The Love Guru.
Do you remember all the times we said we weren't going to do Austin Powers?
Oh, God!
Yes, because I very specifically went in and cut them all for the promo.
All right, do you want to do the like set up, not pay off, reminder, and just say we're not going to do The Love Guru a bunch more times?
Do you know what though? Like the movie does, The Love Guru does kind of say some things about masculinity.
Okay. For those of you in the audience,
for
those of you in the audience, you're getting a real sneak
I mean,
preview.
first of all,
careful, Whitey.
That's a problem. Is it more racist to make an Indian person watch this movie with us, or more racist for us to just do it? Yeah.
If you can find a guest, we'll do it. We got like 4 weeks before. No, we got like 6 weeks before this like recording comes out. We could probably.
Yeah, this is us making ourselves a vacation. But
what? We're like go to India.
You know what? Fine. Yeah, sure.
No.
Next Kill James Bond live show is not Stratum Space Project. It's actually even further outside London, in India.
But so, like, what does this have to do with James Bond
Just
or
about
indeed
as
masculinity?
easy to get to from Central, I'd say.
Honestly, I think Stratham's is part of Central London.
Actually, to be fair,
the traffic was good
you only need
tonight.
to get on one item of transport to get from London to India. You need to get like 4 to get down to.
That's true. Stretch them to India though, it's like 50. But like
it just says don't. You put it in on Google, like no.
But like, what does this have to do with like? And I open this question to my co-host. What does this have to do with Bond or masculinity or either?
Well, if there's the one thing, Austin Powers caused the James Bond series to have such a crisis on itself.
True.
Yeah, true.
It
So
kicked
Daniel Craig.
Bond's ass so hard that like Bond had to become serious, and then later on it was doing bits that were like ripped from the Austin Powers
That's
series.
true.
Like this is the
tail wagging
This has
the dog.
been the author, I would say, of all his pain.
You motherfucker.
There's your button.
You absolute motherfucker. But yeah, it's Abby, anything? Thoughts?
I mean, I wonder where they're going to take James Bond next, now that Austin Powers has kind of faded a little bit.
It's coming back to horny again.
It's going back, do you think, to horny?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Going back to self-parody in 60s and like motorcycles folding up into backpacks and shit. It's coming back. It's time.
Give me a silly movie, please, for fuck's sake.
Moon Pussy beckons. But like
I've heard this.
Yeah, but it's like
but again, we're closing the sky, so sorry.
But so this franchise, it's like it's a love letter to the
Kessler syndrome heads in the audience. Thank you for giving me a woo for Kessler syndrome.
quintessence. Good audience. I'm very proud of you. Yeah, it's a love letter to like a
To what? To what? What is this a love letter to?
It's a love letter to Mike fucking Myers.
This isn't a love letter.
Yes.
This is
Sorry,
a
your pen.
hate mail
Hang
to
on, I'll let
me
you,
and
sorry.
us. This is like one of the most pathetic pieces of hate mail I've received since that person on Tumblr the other day who tried to threaten me by sending me dialogue from Mission Impossible 3. This was a terrible use of all of our time.
baby.
It is a love letter to the previous two Austin Powers movies. And by the end, it's a love letter to the lines that came like 4 minutes ago. But like, remember that? Wasn't that good? I'm like, no!
The twist ending of this movie is like Scott Evil is fully bald, fully evil. And I guess now it has lived to see Gen X go bald and take up the mantle of evil in real life. But it still wasn't prepared for the 2000s, which were the original Scott Evil's decade. So it's just done now. They keep threatening to do another one. They haven't.
Threatening is the verb.
Yes. I hope they won't. Maybe we're like due for a new one. I really hope we're not.
Well, how would you parody like Craig Bond? It's like
I just have him like suck on the fingers for an hour and a half. It's like, oh.
We could write a pretty effective
Dr. Evil's
parody.
fucking halfway there already with the yeah.
Visual joke for those of you listening later.
Well, bye. We have a science-based system.
Oh yeah! Do you know, every single night thus far, I have been like, perfect, all right, let's get rid of it. And then you'd be like, we have a science-based rating system. Like, oh yeah, of course. The conceit of the podcast, and
I'm actually fine, because...
Tough sub.
But
so. It's called the Scum spectrum.
It is.
It stands for SMARM, cultural insensitivity, unprovoked violence, and misogyny.
Yes.
How smarmy is this film?
1 million.
Can we say 10?
I think it's pretty bad.
10 out of 7?
Yes.
I mean, what did we do for the last two? Like
9 and 8,
last night we gave
respectively.
it 6.
Oh.
And I didn't write it down the first time because I forgot my notebook. So
not unreasonable.
10.
Yeah.
It's so pleased with itself. The existence of the
Whatever, kill 'em
film
all.
is so pleased with
Yeah.
itself. And it's always like fucking sucking itself off about like Mike Myers' Hollywood friends. Like 10.
Kill them all and let Pod sort them out. Thank you.
Genuinely, Mike Myers should be like extradited to Japan and put on trial. Because, like, come on, man.
Cultural insensitivity.
10.
Genuinely, he should be
10.
extradited to Japan and put on. I think they still have a death penalty. Do they do? If not, they should bring it back.
Does
not, I
anyone
have the
do
death penalty.
brown
I'll do
face
it.
in this film?
No.
Well, they tried to, but it got cut.
That's a fair point. is that gross?
Yeah, the 3-hour Mustafa cut.
It's
It was 2.5 hours. It was like flashbacks.
Really gets into his character, you know. You learn a lot about Mustafa. When you learn the secret reason for Mustafa's brown
You'll
face.
be ashamed of your words and deeds.
Maybe.
Shit, maybe.
Yeah, all right.
Okay. I don't know.
No,
Last
it's
night
no
we gave it
brown
no-
face,
is it
but there
more
are-
offensive?
There are 2 non-Japanese people who are being billed as Japanese. I don't know if
doing
that
that
fucking
accent
counts.
too.
I honestly think Fuck Me and Fuck You is as bad as it gets. Like, outside of fucking, like, an actual racial slur. Like...
Yeah.
Which they tried to have in the first one.
Yes.
Yeah, which they did try to have in a God. Christ
Yes.
almighty.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. 10.
10.
10.
10.
I know that makes it more racist than Live and Let Die, but I don't care. We don't have to be consistent.
Careful, Whitey.
Unprovoked
That's at
violence.
Mike Myers, by the way.
This one might save it because, I mean, they kill Goldmember, I guess.
He was trying to destroy the world. That's pretty.
Yeah.
That's pretty big provocation.
Yeah, they don't do the human
if someone's
shield
trying to
joke.
destroy the world, you should kill them. Flashing up like unconnected images of like ExxonMobil
He's in the
executives.
background, all the names are
like-
passing.
yeah,
It's like, interesting. You can look him up. It's on Company's House.
I honestly don't know. It's got to be low, right? Like a 2, something like.
It is remarkably low.
I'm struggling to think of anyone who was like.
She might be
well,
one.
I fucking
apart from-
detest unprovoked violence. First as a statement, and then also just like it keeps saving movies I hate.
Does the mini-me fight count as like we're supposed to think that's amusing?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
fun.
and
guys
it's
beating the shit out of
textually
this guy.
unprovoked.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it is
it does.
unprovoked. All right, cool.
Right.
Yeah, 50. Fuck them.
Yeah, 10. 10.
No, I don't put a 10. I mean,
3, 4,
4.
4. Yeah, whatever.
misogyny.
10. 10.
Is it as misogynistic as previous ones?
No, because it doesn't have anything about women. It's like it's gone from like, oh, women are too stuck up to like women are too horny and it makes me scared to Beyonce exists and is in this movie. She's not a character. She barely gets lines. It's like it's objectifying, but it's objectifying in a way that's like mostly silent. And so for that I would give it like a 5.
Is that a bit high?
I don't know, what do you think?
I was thinking more like 3. Do you want to split the difference and go 4?
Yeah, I'll go 4.
All right, let's go for 4. That gives it a total score of 28.
The joy.
The
Which
worst
means
movie.
it is now tied with Live and Let Die and Atomic Blonde as the worst film we have ever seen on this podcast.
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah.
Will we ever find a movie that like breaks through that ceiling of 28 and is more offensive than these? And like also, what a trio! Like,
Sure, we can find one.
Well, it's called The Love Guru.
Unprovoked violence will
Someday.
fucking save it.
That's the most psychological trauma that we can like possibly do. And also, I've been sitting on this seat for like an hour and a half, and
Oh, this is uncomfortable.
there's like a tuck situation.
oh, are you?
Yeah.
Oh, is there a talk situation?
It
That's
hadn't
slightly
occurred to me.
slightly uncomfortable. Is
yeah.
that? Is
I'm
that?
fine.
Yeah.
I've run out of silicone lube. I'm just like squeaking now, like a fembot that needs oiling.
Later, if you're good. Well, we have been Kill James Bond. Thank you so much.
Yeah, for real. Let's bring it in.
My final note on it says, if anyone says, "Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Burt Bacharach," near me, it's going to MK Ultra activate me.
In a post-credits scene, which we're not counting. Thank
real.
you so much for coming. Thank you especially to those of you who made it to all 3 nights. Thank you to Streatham Space Project for the tech and the venue.
Yeah, hell yeah.
That's right.
We have been Kill James Bond. Good night.